Hey guys, Charlie here. Welcome back to another tier list video. Today we're going to be ranking operating systems. And obviously, this is a very non-biased tier list because tier lists are nothing about opinion, it's truly about fact. Exactly. So, starting off, we're going to be ranking Windows 10. In my opinion, Windows 10 is insane. I really like it just because I've been using it for so long. I feel like everybody has. It's pretty reliable other than the blue screens. But honestly, it's good, right? It's just solid. So I'm gonna be putting it in A tier, right? Then we have Mac OS X specifically. This was before it was Mac OS and was kind of the era where Apple finally decided to get serious. And I kind of remember like there being like I don't really use it that much, but there was like this like the dock bounce was like stupidly satisfying. But honestly, it looked good. It had the Unix bones and everything. And honestly, it was kind of nice. It was just reliable, but it's still a Mac product, so we're going and C. And then we have Mac OS. Still this kind of the same brain, but it was just had a new name. Finder was still Finder. But everything was just a little bit more polished. And it was decent, but it was boring. So I'm gonna put it right there, both Macs in C tier, because Mac sucks. Anyway, Windows 8.1. Actually, let's go to Windows 8 first. Windows 8 was the most useless Windows version of all time. I do not know a single person who used this, right? Like genuinely, I've seen computers with the stickers for like Windows 8 or even Windows 8.1, and I look at the operating system and the computer doesn't have Windows 8. It's on like I've seen them downgraded to Windows 7 before. But yeah, so Windows 8.1, it's like Microsoft looked at Windows 8, right? And then they were like, okay, all right, fine. We hear you guys. Let's fix it, right? And then fix like 5% of the issues and 5% of everything people hated. So it's slightly better than Windows 8, but it still sucks, right? Then we have Windows Vista. Apparently at launch, obviously I don't think I was alive. I don't remember when this was launched, but I wasn't alive. But apparently everybody kind of like just dogged on it and didn't like it, right? Vista was basically just Windows doing like a glow up. But yeah, so I mean, it was okay. I'm gonna put it here. I don't know. Okay, and then we have Android, right? Android is used by literally like half the planet. And look, I'm an iOS user. If I could escape that Apple ecosystem, though, I would 100% use Android. I don't think it's better than Windows 10, though. I'm actually going to move Windows 10 up to S tier. And I'll move Android up there. Because honestly, I think they're both great. Okay, and then we have BlackBerry, right? It's very like business, right? It's very like I reply to emails in an elevator. Like it had the physical keyboard, and then like it had the little like either a trackball or a trackpad, and it's just like it was literally just a business phone. Then we have Linux, kernel, but I'm assuming this just means Linux in general, right? I feel like when somebody asks you like kind of unrelated, when somebody asks you what Linux distribution you use, I feel like it's not really a question. It's kind of like a test that has like a lot of wrong answers. Because I feel like if somebody's asking, obviously they're very opinionated on it, which we have a couple Linux operating systems coming up, which we'll get to in a second. Then we have Windows 7. This is like the operating system that everybody compares new Windows versions to. Like it just looks clean. It was amazing, clean. It was nostalgic, and it just felt like Microsoft produced something that was good, right? I guess more of a B tier though, because there were issues and it was obviously old. And then everybody's favorite, Windows 11, the single best. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so here's like a little run through. Like, hi guys, Microsoft here. We centered the taskbar. We also want you to have to sign in with a Microsoft account, right? And then also Copilot is here to help. We know it sucks, but use it anyway. That's like Windows 11 as a whole. I don't think it's not that bad, but they also like just made everything so overcomplicated and it's just dumb. Like it doesn't feel like Windows 10 was a good balance of everything in my opinion, and then they brought Windows 11 out and it's just bad. We got I use Arch, by the way. Um this is literally the Linux distribution of LARPers. And like I also think because it is a huge Linux distribution, it has a very big community, right? I think that the wiki of Arch Linux is actually bigger than, like, thicker than the Bible, like tenfold. Like, it probably has more documentation than any other operating system. Okay, and the Windows Phone, right? I haven't used this. However, going off of Microsoft's track record with like phones versus like Apple and Google, I guarantee it's terrible. Like, Windows making most operating systems kind of sucks nowadays. And I know this was a while ago, but I feel like a Windows Phone would just be bad. Then we have CentOS, right? This is like Linux for people who wanted Red Hat but didn't want to pay for Red Hat. But honestly, I've heard really good things about CentOS. It's just kind of weird nowadays. And there's just better options like Debian, Ubuntu, Rocky Linux now. Then we have Windows 98. This is like, okay, the only reason I included this is because this is where like, I don't think this is where the blue screen was added, but it was where it was popularized. And so it was like, they brought in the USB, they brought in the blue screen of death. And yeah, it was bad, but the operating system itself was okay. I feel like, now that I'm looking at it, I feel like Windows 11 isn't that bad. Chrome OS literally is like 90% a browser and 10% like file system, right? It's like, why is this tab eating 6 gigs of RAM? I don't even have 6 gigabytes of RAM because like these laptops, like I have an old Chromebook and it literally has like 2 gigabytes of RAM. It's insane. Okay, and then we got Debian. Debian, I love Debian. Honestly, I think it's one of the best Linux distributions for servers. It's just reliable and it just works. Then we got Windows 95. I haven't actually used Windows 95, so I'm going to put it there. Fedora, this is like Red Hat's lab rat. If Debian is the responsible sibling, I believe that Fedora would be the one that's like, they just update things, they just throw it out there. And honestly, it works a lot of the time. Fedora is a very good operating system, in my opinion. It's just, honestly, it's reliable. It's just good. Windows XP, very, very old, but still gold. Like, it's honestly pretty solid. I'm just putting everything above Mac OS. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I don't like Mac. I think that, like, it was just always kind of reliable. Like, Windows XP was good. I actually, at my school, occasionally, I will still see a computer running Windows XP, which baffles me every time. Then we got Nix. Nix is such a nerdy operating system. I know somebody who uses this as like one of their main operating systems. I guarantee if you offered for them to install Nix in their brain, they would do it. They would probably pay you to let them do it. Like, it's amazing. Like, the people that come from or like go to Nix OS is like, they're always really smart. Like, they just love building things and working on their own operating systems and just everything like that. So if you meet someone on Nix OS, they will tell you that they use Nix and then they will explain why for 20 minutes without asking. However, Nix is cool. The only reason Arch I'm putting at the top of B is because like there's Arch-based distributions that are better than just Arch. So like Endeavor OS, I would probably put higher than just base Arch. Then we got Oracle Linux. It's like the enterprise Linux. And like, I feel like it's okay for servers, but their support is apparently really bad. And also, I remember like my friend taking a class on this and like using Oracle Linux. And it was just the biggest waste of time ever. Then we have Raspberry Pi OS. Honestly, it's super solid. It's super lightweight. It can run on the smallest of devices. It's really good for small projects. I can't complain. It's perfect. Okay, now Ubuntu. All right, I have a very people don't agree with my opinion on Ubuntu. However, because everybody for some reason hates Ubuntu, I really like Ubuntu. I like both Ubuntu Server and Ubuntu Desktop. Now, I don't run Ubuntu Desktop as my main Linux distribution at home, at least. Like, if I'm actually trying to use it for its intended purpose, I would not. I would go with like Mint or something. Um, but I do use Ubuntu on my school and work laptops, especially my school laptop, because Ubuntu works. I know a lot of people don't like it. All of the canonical drama and then snaps, I agree, are annoying, but it works. I never have an issue. I've had issues with other Linux-based operating systems, and like it just stuff will just break, right? Like, and Ubuntu stuff just doesn't break. Like, other than like if GNOME, like there'll just be some occasional issues with GNOME, but you just update everything and there you go. It's all kind of functioning. So dare I put it there? Like, I really like Ubuntu. I think it's pretty awesome. I'm also going to move Windows down to the least favorite because I think of everything on this list at the time of release. I think that Windows 8 is the worst. I know I haven't finished the other ones, but I think that by the time of release, Windows 8 is the worst. So yeah, and then Ubuntu Server, going back to Ubuntu for a second, Ubuntu Server is awesome. I love it. For like if I have a hypervisor, something that's just going to be set up and not touched, I will put on Debian. And then all of the virtualized servers that I need, I'm probably going to put on Ubuntu. To me, that's the best way to do it. Ubuntu is, Debian based. It's just basically that with a bunch of pre-wired stuff. Then we got Zorin OS. This is like it's like it feels like an educational version of Linux. It's like Linux with training wheels. And then like you take Ubuntu, you take it to a cosplay convention, and then it dresses up as Windows. Like, it's not bad. I haven't used it a ton, but so I'm going to put it kind of in the middle because I don't know that well, but I know roughly what it is. Then iOS. I'm an iOS user. I know I mentioned that earlier with Android. I'm only still here because the ecosystem is burned into my brain. But that aside, honestly, it works. It's smooth, it's simple, it's reliable, and that's all I want for my phone. I need it for communication. That's all that's important. I don't need anything crazy. So then Unix, right? It was kind of the start of everything, and honestly, it's fire. Multi-user, multitasking. They invented all of the rules that most operating systems follow. And without Unix, half of these things on here probably wouldn't exist. So for that, I'm going to put it there because itself is okay, but it's very important to the development of everything. Chromium OS, people don't really actually use Chromium, right? At least the operating system. Moms will go out and buy Chromebooks for their kids. The nerds will then compile Chromium because Chromium is like the open source version of Chrome OS. And then they'll like tweet on Twitter that they compiled it and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm so cool. And then they'll go back to Windows 10. It's got to go below Chrome OS, above Chrome OS because it's open source. And then we got Xubuntu. It's basically just like a smaller version of Ubuntu, to my understanding. That might be wrong. But it's like Ubuntu and it uses XFCE. And it's okay. I mean, I haven't used it too much, but we'll put it there. That might be wrong, but then we got Wubuntu. It's like Windows 11 looking Ubuntu. It's like if you want your operating system to look like Windows 11, but be Linux, yeah. So I'm gonna put that there. This is a very like scattered list, and I don't know what to put for the single best. Obviously, like I would just put Linux for the single best. However, actually, I'm gonna move this list around a little bit because I think that Debian and I think that's more reasonable. I think Android will be dropped down here, and I think single best is just gonna be Linux. Any Linux distribution is going to be good, but I kind of can't do that though because it's not a single operating system. So I think we're gonna go Debian. I think that the single best, most reliable, solid operating system on this list is gonna be Debian. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you agree in the comments. Let me know how badly you got rage baited, and how wrong you think I am. But yeah, if you enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe. Please don't dislike. And yeah, have a good one.